Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tableau Tip Tuesday, Christmas edition. Keeping with the theme of Christmas, we're going to be rebuilding this fun little dashboard right here. It's just a very small open source data source that I found online about the type of Christmas tree that people buy every year. So we're going to spruce up this lesson with some fun things, like we got some icons here. Looks like we have some a line graph here, but we got a nice little Christmas image, making it look like it's a string light. We got some dashboard images and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and get to work. First things first, let's go ahead and look at our data. As I said, it's just a very small data set here, and these trees are in millions. So in the year 2004, 9 million fake trees were sold and 27 million real trees were sold, for a total of 36.1 million trees total. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see how we can use our custom icons to put a little bit of visual spice on this typical time series chart. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and just build our chart first. So we'll have our years going along the bottom right here, and we want a line chart of our real and fake trees. So in order to accomplish that, we just want to go ahead and take our measured values onto rows here, and then we just want our total in fake trees. And there we go. Now we have the top line will be the real trees and the bottom line will be the fake. Now the data does drop off on 2019. For whatever reason, fake trees were not included in this data set. We'll go ahead and we'll just kind of leave that there as is. So how do we go ahead and get that shape in there? Well, we're going to need to have a dual axis chart right here. One to have the line and one to have the shape. So we'll go ahead and preemptively do that by going to dual axis here. We'll synchronize our axes, even though it's just the same axis overlaid on top of one another. Once you get that shape in there, synchronizing early will save you a little bit of time. Now, for anyone that does not know how to place shapes inside of in Tableau, you have to go to Tableau's repository. So if I click on this file location right here, you can see that by default it will be in My Documents, My Tableau repository, and then we're in the Shapes menu of that repository. So if we just go to the root menu right here, by default it will be in the same place on your install, Documents in My Tableau repository. Now it may be different depending on if you have a company install or not, but by default this is where it should be. We'll go into our Shapes file, and I just made a folder called Holiday. And you can see that all I've done here is I've just copied an icon off the internet here. So just open source icon images. You just straight copy and paste it in there, and then you are ready to use that custom shape. So let's go ahead and go back to Tableau. Since we've already done that, we'll go in here and just show you the different shapes that we have in here, just so we're aware of those. But for now, all we need to do is set one of these lines to be of a mark type shape. So we go over here, change it to a mark type shape. That gives you a shape per point. We just want to make sure that that shape is the shape that we want. So we'll go into more shapes here, navigate to that holiday folder, and we can select that icon here to make it look like string lights. There we go, looking nice. Last thing that I did, I think I put measure names onto color so we can have different colors for these lines. So we have red and green right there. We'll go ahead and we'll do the exact same thing for the shape. We'll duplicate measure name to color as well, and we have a pretty slick looking chart. Now the second thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to see the popularity of our real tree versus fake tree. So this chart up here, you can see that as I click on a different year, you're going to have different sizings of those trees. So you can use the tooltip to see exactly how many trees were sold in that given year, should you want to. So let's go ahead and do that second sheet here. So for this one, all we're going to do is we're going to take measure names and place it onto columns. And then we're going to take measure values and place it onto size. Now we don't want the count of data or the total trees. These both came through with our data source. So we'll just go ahead and we'll exclude those measure names by filtering them out, so that we just have our real and fake trees. And last but not least, we want to change that to a marked type of shape so that we can go ahead and select our shape here. So if we go back into our holiday folder, we can select our tree shape for this one, go ahead and apply it, make that a little bit bigger so that we can see those trees. And last step again is to just duplicate measure names to color. All right, let's go ahead and get a dashboard going. We'll get a little image up along the top. I like a little banner along the top, so we can choose that image right here. I've selected this one. We can go ahead and press apply. And now we can go ahead and start dropping our charts in below that if we would like to here. Let's go ahead and get our tree along right here, and then we'll segment that in half. I think I had a blank layout container over here. Remove our legends. And the last thing we want to do is use our dashboard action to get the two tied together. So we go to our dashboard actions menu, and we're going to add a filter action to filter from our year. The year will be our source right here, and the target will be the trees up along the top. And whenever they select that year, we should go ahead and see that size filter to the tree count for that given year. There you go. With a little bit more design work, you can get it looking nice and sharp. But there you go. That's how we can use our custom icons to have a nice festive dashboard. That's all we have for you this week. Join us next week for another tip.